How foul, my people? Welcome back to No Gree Entertainment. I'm your host, Andrew.
I thought you was going.
Yo, come on. Oh, no, okay, my fault, my fault. That's me, that's me. How foul, my people? Welcome back to No Gree Entertainment. I'm your host, Andrew. I'm here with my dog, my co-host.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing today, bro?
How are you doing today, gang?
I'm straight, bro.
You straight?
New scenery.
New scenery. Guys,
really
what are we
enjoying
thinking?
Really,
It's smooth.
it's
Our
really
34
good.
subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
How we feeling?
Yeah, how y'all feeling, bro? Hey, get us to 100 on YouTube,
Facts,
bro.
100, bro.
We trying to run it up.
IG's been showing love, but I ain't gonna lie, YouTube.
Yeah,
And I'm feeling
YouTube
it.
and TikTok, y'all got to step it up.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm telling you. I feel like it's just the algorithm. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Once you get seen by once we get seen, bro, we get one viral video on TikTok or YouTube.
yeah, it's over.
Like, it's over, bro.
It's
That's
over.
what happened on IG.
That's all we need.
I'm saying, bro. But howdy, buddy? Buddy day?
Body day T.
Buddy day, body day T.
Body day T.
Nah, I feel like that's performative what you did there.
Think so?
Yeah.
Hey, performative is my middle name.
Performative is your middle name.
Yup.
What do you think about performativism?
Performativism, I
Yeah.
feel like it's a trait every man needs, bro. Like, even if it's not really you, I feel like you gotta have that equipped, like in your arsenal. Just pull it out whenever you need to.
Yeah.
You never know what type of girl you gonna come across, so you gotta be able to pull that out.
Yeah, right. So you feel like you should just be like an actor?
I mean, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, gang. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, call me Dave Chappelle. Call
Dave
me
Chappelle. He's not even an
Yeah.
actor, bro.
He's
He's
not.
not an actor.
call me damn.
Nah, you just come on, bro. Move on. It's embarrassing.
But speaking of like performativism, like like Nigerian poetic speaking,
Yeah.
do you think that's just like performative?
You mean like when they say like, oh, wisdom is chasing you, but you're too fast or something like that?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like the highest level of like pseudo-intellectualism. Like
Mhm.
they're trying to make themselves seem smart, but they actually have no point behind all of that.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear Nigerian parents saying whatever they say, I'm like, where's your matcha? Where's your leve? Where's your claro? Like, where's your leve? Where's your claro? Like, where are your loafers? Where's your feminist literature? I feel like it's just extremely performative. And it's all in all just embarrassing. Like, behind all those words and all that palaver, they actually have no substance behind what they're saying. What do you think?
Yeah. At the end of the day, like they be thinking they so wise. Like I know when the quotes they come out their mouth, they just be swearing they so wise. To me, it's performative as well. Like the second those quotes come out their mouth, they swear it like deep down inside they moving like Shakespeare. Whole time they got them same quotes from the fortune cookies from the Chinese East they had last night. So I feel like genuinely it's just really fake behavior, to be honest. Like, do you have like a circumstance that happened to you? Like,
No, I mean, I was just looking on TikTok this morning, and I saw, I think an African mother reproaching her daughter for getting like a belly button piercing, and she was just saying a whole bunch of rubbish. And I feel like when they start, giving those long-winded answers, they're gatekeeping the point because there truly is none. Like,
Yeah.
like, buddy, you're not Shakespeare. Like, can you
yeah,
just
you're not Shakespeare.
exactly like, is it yes or no? They can't answer to those type of questions. They'll give a long-winded answer that is actually meaning nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them, they just have like a little journal.
Mhm.
I promise you, like they don't just think of that type of stuff off the top of their head.
Nah, facts.
Like, imagine like you mess up and your mom hits you with the wisdom is chasing you, but you have fast that. Like, how did you think of that?
Nah, they ain't
That's like genius. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
And don't you think it's suspicious that every single one of them have the same exact lines?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's probably like some type of African parent convention they go to secretly, like when we're asleep, but we just don't know.
Yeah, probably. So, recently I helped my mom attach a PDF to an email, and she told her WhatsApp friend group, the Igbo Women of God, she told them, my son is going to be like a NASA engineer. And I was appalled by what she said, what she did there. So, why do African parents, like, after you help them with one minor technological issue, they feel like you're the next Elon Musk?
That's a really good question. Like you said, you've helped them retrieve their old Facebook password that they lost. All of a sudden, you're engineer, big boy.
Yeah.
And then the next second, you're a useless child because you accidentally deleted his old 2014 mirror selfie and you couldn't retrieve it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's really just it's really a trap. That's what I like to call it.
It's a trap.
It's a
Yeah.
trap.
That's true.
Because it's like they'll they'll hype you up for doing the simplest task that a 7-year-old could do, like plugging an HDMI cord into the television.
Mm-hmm.
But the second you don't know how to, the second you don't know how to do something like outlandish and completely difficult, all of a sudden you're useless and it's just forget about it. Let me go ask somebody else. Let me go ask my grandson in Abuja to do this for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like, I don't know. It's really a trap to me.
For sure. Personally, I see it as a form of abuse. It's an unpaid internship. First of all, you're like the IT guy of the IT department of the whole household, and obviously you're not getting paid. And when they're done using and abusing you, they go to, like you said, their nephew in Abuja to fix the issue. And yeah, I see it as a form of power abuse, and I don't think it's right.
Yeah, an unpaid internship. That's the perfect word for it.
Mm-hmm.
So we all know how African tailors move. They move. You schedule for one of your native pieces to be made by next Saturday, and then it won't be ready till the next year Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So why is it that tailors, they tell you a specific date and it's never ready by that date? Like, is there some type of psychology behind that?
As a psychology student myself, I can kind of break this down. When you go to an African tailor, never expect what they tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a good point that you raise up. Last month, I believe, my cousin, she had a wedding, and it was on a Friday that the wedding was. So the week before, we prepped. We went to the tailor, try to get our clothes, fixed for us. And the tailor, she said, okay, wait for it. On Wednesday, we're gonna have it ready. And mom was like, okay, Wednesday, 2 days before the wedding, we're gonna be good. And Friday rolled around, didn't hear a word. And I had to explain to my mom, it's not gonna be possible. I'm gonna have to. I told her, Mom, I'm gonna have to go to this wedding in my LeBron jersey. I'm gonna have to go in my Birkenstocks. So I had to explain, not African tailors. They don't when they give you a date, don't expect the date. In their mind, it's a fictional concept. They're literally just trying to test your gullibility. They're trying to test your gangster, see how much nonsense you can put up with. That's really how I see it. So I just see it as a pure psychological test.
Yeah, it's really a psychological test, like you said, to the highest order. They're really just playing mind games with you. That same cash deposit that your mother gave for your piece to be ready by Saturday is the same exact money the tailor would be using to spray money at the wedding. She's just playing with you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
The piece will be ready 5 weeks after the event. And you'll just be there, like, just having to accept it.
Yeah.
Accept defeat. You know what I'm saying? So I generally feel like, when a tailor, the real method, every real African should know that if you're messing with any Nigerian tailor, African tailor, you got to order ahead. Like, essentially pre-order.
Yeah, like how far? Like a year before, 2 years?
I think 2.
2 years.
2's being generous.
Yeah, that's really not even the safe spot. I think 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
Speaking of weddings, me, I've always been like a reserved guy, and because of that, at weddings I would always find it uncomfortable. There would always be this one cameraman who would always zoom in on you, 4K Dolby Atmos vision. That was zooming on you, taking a big bite into that chunk of goat meat, and I would always find it embarrassing. Like I would always find it uncomfortable. So I kind of want to get your thoughts. Do you think an African cameraman at those functions is that harassment? What do you think about that?
Bro, I feel like harassment is really an understatement. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, bro. And I have real trauma from this, so I'm really speaking from the heart. Like, why is it that every single cameraman has like a Bluetooth that connects in their mind every time your teeth make contact with your food? It doesn't make sense. Like, it's really just spiritual ambush, if we're being for real. Like, you think you're good. Like, you're in the corner away from all the food and the partying, trying to, you're going one-on-one with a tough piece of Ponmo just, stuck in your teeth. Next thing you know, you got like a huge flash of light in your face, and you look up, and it's just the cameraman just getting all the details like in 4K. It's like, it's really nothing you could do about it at that point. 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by. You're gonna be watching the couples like montage of the wedding. You're gonna see, them dancing and getting sprayed with money, and then you're gonna see you going one-on-one with that Ponmo.
Yeah.
Toughening it out. one-on-one with the Ponmo, and it's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I'm sorry, like, if my voice is trembling, because it really just gives me trauma, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know how it feels, like, watching the montage and you know, seeing everybody happy, good pictures of themselves, and then you see you just looking like you haven't ate in 2 years, you know, just struggling with a piece of chicken and Ponmo. So
Yeah.
I feel like just cameramen are really, African cameramen, to be particular, are just evil.
Yeah, they're evil. Like they have some kind of spiritual disease, spiritual wickedness that is, you know, really pulling at their heart.
Yeah, they just want to get the worst out of you.
Absolutely.
So literally last night, you know, my mom, she loves to use WhatsApp. Like she has an iPhone, but she uses WhatsApp more than iMessage, which is, I don't know, it's an African thing, I guess. So I see she sent me a voice memo. So, you know, I click on it. You know, I'm cozy in my bed, so I'm like, let me just listen to what my mom sent. Bro, when I tell you, it was like I was listening to some type of audiobook. It was so long. Like, she was telling me all the things that she wanted me to do, you know, the weekend, this, that, the third, and, you know, all the stuff that's going on. And I'm just like, dang, like, is this like, it's some type of free audiobook that, you know, that's unreleased, like, she trying to get me to test it out or something.
Yeah.
So our question to you is, like, how long can a, you know, African mom voice memo be until it can be considered like an unsolicited podcast episode?
That's a really, really good question. I would say the threshold is around 6 minutes and 7 seconds. I feel like once you pass that threshold, you know, it just becomes a audiobook, like you said. Next thing you know, you got a guest speaker, your dad, you know, yelling in the background, "Nah, Mecca, go pick up your clothes." You know, and then next thing you have a closing prayer, you know. So I feel like, yeah, around 6 or 7 minutes, that's when it really becomes like an audiobook or a podcast. The next thing you know, she's, you know, No Gree Entertainment. She has her own YouTube channel. She has her own Instagram, TikTok. You know, she's posting every day. So I feel like, yeah, around that time, that's the threshold.
Yeah, for sure. You said 6 or 7 minutes. I feel like that's the perfect time, bro. Like, at that, honestly, that's really kind of too long, bro.
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
At that point, it's like falling asleep. You know, she's on chapter 359 about whatever she's yapping about.
Facts.
So I feel like a phone call would do.
A phone call would do, for sure. Yeah, I mean, if I have to go, you know, put the phone down and go cook and come back to listen to what you're saying, I feel like you've crossed the line.
Yeah, you crossed the limit for sure.
Yeah. So speaking of WhatsApp, there's this phenomenon that I feel like every African child in this generation has to go through. It's called the Great Escape. Leaving your WhatsApp family group chat for your mental health. Do you think that's a sin, or is that really just the next step that you have to take to, you know, have a better mental health, leaving your WhatsApp group chat?
I feel like it's really a declaration of war, for being for real. You know, you get fed up that one night. You're tired of getting sent the Instagram AI quotes and all that, these AI videos and these inspirational quotes, and you're tired of just getting compared to, you know, your cousins that live across the country. So you get fed up, you leave. I'm not gonna lie, if you leave an African, you know, group chat, like an African family group chat, you gotta have thick skin, because next thing you're gonna know, your African auntie from that's, you know, back home, she's gonna call you asking if you joined a cult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're gonna start thinking like that you're mad.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's gonna come with a lot. You know, you gotta really think, like, me leaving this group chat, is it, you know, worth what I'm gonna go through after? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. It's really that price you gotta pay. You know, I did that when I was like, you know, 6 or 7. That's when I had my first phone. You know, I had to leave the group chat because they were telling me, you know, to go clean my room, and I was like, excuse me, because you're not gonna tell me what to do. So I feel like, you know, around that age, that's when you really should have to make that next step. I feel like when you go too late, I think that was your problem. You know, that's when your aunt was, you know, start asking if you're in a cult. I feel like if you do that in a young age, you know, you really like expedite the process. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you leave that group chat, bro, it's like no tomorrow. Like, once you make that decision, you gotta live with it.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta go downstairs and face your parents one-on-one. Like, and they're WhatsApp warriors.
Yeah.
That's what I like to call them, WhatsApp warriors.
The paint beast.
your paint piece,
Yeah,
all that, all the badges. You know what I'm saying? So they know like WhatsApp in and out. For some reason, they don't know how to, switch TV from HDMI 2 to HDMI 1, but they know WhatsApp in and out. So they see that notification that you left the group chat. Just get ready, bro. It's gonna be pain.
Yeah.
But like speaking of technology though, I was out shopping with my mom, literally like 2-3 days ago, and she gets like a notification. The whole store here is, by the way, because African parents they'll have all their audio up super high and all that. So she gets a text, pulls out her glasses, and she pulls out her phone, and I never really paid attention to how my mom texts. So I was like, today, let me just observe.
Let me observe her animation package.
Yeah, let me shadow an African mom today. Just see how they move. Like you said, their animations and all that. She pulls out her phone, and like, mind you, like, I didn't say this before, but we were literally in front of like a group of people. Like, we were in line, trying to get like this product that just released, whatever. So like a bunch of people are facing us. She pulls out her phone and she's texting with her middle finger, like what I'm saying, the middle finger. So I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, why are you typing with your middle finger? And she's like, can I not type with my own finger? I forgot what she said, but she was trying to justify, typing with her middle finger. Yeah. And I had to kind of educate her, like, here, like in the U.S., I don't know how it is back in Nigeria, but in the U.S., middle finger is like, it's vulgar. You know what I'm saying? She still didn't care. She proceeded to, type out the sentence with her middle finger. So I just wanted to ask you, like, why do you think they do that? Like, why do they feel like typing with their middle finger is appropriate?
I feel like, they know. And I feel like her knowing and continuing the behavior, I feel like that's the biggest indication of that, from my respect to her. I think that is just the result of them punishing, their cellular devices for the digital age. They don't feel like they can send a message across to the cell tower if they're not applying 40 pounds of pressure to the cellular device. So they're trying to, one, it's a form of punishment, and two, also they're kind of asserting their dominance in a way. That's a big part of our culture, that just asserting your dominance over the European corporations of technology. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see asserting dominance. I just feel like, in the situations like that we were in, I feel like she could have switched the fingers around, but it is what it is, though.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of the digital age, this morning I was on my WhatsApp. I was just scrolling through my aunties and uncles, their statuses, and I saw my uncle. He posted this strange story, and it said, thank God, I bought 3 meat pies at Southwest Market today with 15 prayer hand emojis, and the blessing emoji and the money emoji. And I had to slide up. I said, Uncle, like, what is this? You gave me some long-winded performative nonsense that we were talking about earlier, but I just kind of want to get your thoughts on it. Why do African parents post public prayer posts as their status updates?
I think status updates are like private notebooks that only God can see.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about before, African parents and technology don't really mesh well. So, they see a status update. They think, it's just them and God. They think it's a private thing. They'll say something crazy like, oh, thank you, Jesus. I was able to negotiate with the Southwest Market people and buy 10 okras for a cheap price with 10, 15 prayer hand emojis. They think it's only them and God. And that's funny about it is, like, the people that see it, they'll play along. Like, the 500 plus friends they have on, Facebook and all that will see it, and they'll just be adding to it. They'll be like, praise Jesus. Hey. And then they'll be like, oh, what location? They'll just, I'm like, is this a simulation? I don't know. I feel like they just all have the same, like, wired brain way of thinking.
Yeah.
Cause
that's got to be what it is, honestly.
Yeah. Because it's just like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if I'm scrolling and I see someone talking about, I got okra for the low, I'm just going to scroll past, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
But they're all wired the same. So
it's probably what they discussed at that African convention that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
What lines to say to your kids.
We really don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
We don't. That's the thing, bro.
So, I was thinking the other day, like, I was driving past McDonald's or whatever, and I'm like, I really used to ask, like, yo, mom, can we stop at McDonald's? Get some this, can we get that? And the response will always be, we have rice at home. So I just wanted to ask you, like, is the statement, we have rice at home, is that, like, supposed to be financial literacy? Or is it, like, some type of psychological test on the, on our endurance or whatever?
Good question. I think, let me just set the record straight. Every time that they have said that, it has absolutely nothing to do with financial literacy, nothing to do with their bank account. It is a way to establish their dominance over you, gradually, slowly but surely, across the span of your lifetime. So let's look at it like this. I feel like in the face of a rotting Ziploc bag of rotten jollof rice, party jollof, that from 5, 6, 7 months ago, they're trying to teach you that your desires are irrelevant. So I feel like that's just their way to establish their dominance over you, if I'm being completely honest.
That's a really good way to look at it. Like, I always thought, like, they were just being wicked. They were being mean to us, like, oh, you don't got like $1 or $2 I can, you can spare for me to get a McChicken and a Happy Meal. You know what I'm saying? But looking back, it's like, it really, gave us thick skin.
Yeah.
Now we know how to delay our gratification. How we can drive past McDonald's without pulling into the driveway.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
now I feel like, then again, I feel like part of it was just like them trolling us, like, because they could have easily spent that $1 or $2.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
So speaking of food, that phenomenon that we just discussed, it just got me to thinking, why in a Nigerian household or in an African household, why is the fridge never what it really seems?
Bro, that's a great question. I feel like African fridges and the food situation in African homes, it just creates trust issues. Like, that's how we as African kids learn how to get through trust issues, because we've dealt with them our whole lives. The blue Danish cookie containers that be sitting around the house.
Yeah.
You open it thinking you about to get some treats. Whole time it's just sewing equipment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The ice cream containers that we talked about earlier. You open it thinking you're about to get some cookies and cream, cookie dough ice cream. It's just a frozen Agusi with fish heads staring back at you. The Sprite that's in the fridge. You're thinking, oh, my parents finally bought some soda. You pour you a cup. It's really just some type of herbal medicine, straight from Africa. So
yeah,
I feel like it's really just a gamble every time you open the fridge. It's probably why, Gen Z Nigerians lead the nations in, gambling addicts.
Yeah. And it's also probably why our women don't trust us. And they spread a false narrative that African or Nigerian men are evil. Because the first man that they trusted put sewing kits inside of the Danish cookies. So they go around and spread the rumor, oh, Nigerian men can't be trusted. And that's why, Nigerian men are the most hated men around the world. I feel like it goes hand in hand. So that's my take on it as well.
Yeah, like, they don't really know what they're doing. They're just creating monsters without even knowing.
Absolutely.
Like, imagine you're innocent and suffer. What? Imagine being like a kind, cute, innocent kid, and then you open a Danish container, or you open the ice cream container thinking you're getting ice cream, and then you're traumatized with a giant, enormous fish head with eyes bulging out looking at you. It creates a monster.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's gamble every time. I think we are leading the country in gambling addicts.
Really?
No, I just made it up, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was true though.
Yeah, me either, bro. Great points you made here, guys. I think that'll wrap up this episode.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one. Stay blessed.
Stay blessed.